Hey everyone, Robert here, author of Expansion Mastery, the practical guide to living a fully engaged life. Are you ready to start living life to the fullest? Are you ready and willing to transform yourself and your life from ordinary to extraordinary? Then welcome, my friends, to the Fully Engaged Life. Welcome back to the show, everyone. I hope all of you had the best Thanksgiving holiday ever. I hope you were able to appreciate all of those around you, and all of those around you were able to appreciate you as well. I hope you took the opportunity to share your appreciation and gratitude more openly and honestly than you ever have before. I tend to share many practices with you as well as practical understanding. So what I would like to address in this particular episode is going to deal with the incredible power that we have in intention. Intention is far more than thought. It's far more than merely thinking. There's a special quality to it. But this quality doesn't have to be some mystical, out-of-reach thing. Typically, we might define intention as a strong purpose accompanied by some form of determination or motivation that produces the desired result or outcome. So I'd like to look into this a little bit because intention plays an incredibly important role in our lives, as well as our spiritual practices, martial practices, for accomplishing anything we would want to accomplish in life. We need the intention. So I'd like to take a look at this from a number of perspectives in the hopes that it sheds a little more light on what intention is and how you can very purposefully engage it and have your own direct experience in working with and strengthening your intention. I feel it's interesting to note here that one of the perspectives is that which relates to karma. Now, I know karma can be a type of dogma, but hear me out. So, intent has everything to do with karma. If we understand karma, we know that not every single action can bring about some bad universal reaction. So if we look at it this way, if you're walking along and you're talking with someone, you're laughing, carrying on, having a good time, and you accidentally step on a snail and you crush it, many would say that you have acquired bad karma from that, but this is not true. It's not an accurate understanding of the nature of karma and what it is. It's so much simpler than the 1,000-page volumes tried to make it. And it comes down to intention. If you are walking along and you don't even see the snail and you step on it, there's no intention to do harm to the snail. Therefore, there is no negative karma associated with it. Now, if you walk up and you see that snail and you get the urge to just jump up in the air and stomp on it, splatter it all over the place, then that's a different story with completely different intention. And yes, that would then relate in what is considered to be negative karma. Now, what is the karma? Karma is just the interaction of intention and vibration with the universe. See, so if you have that negative intention to do harm to something like that senselessly, then you lower your vibration to that level. Actually, your vibration has to already be that low for you to even have such a desire. Then when you actually carry through with the act, then you have that coming back to you, right? Like attracts like. So you're going to attract that feeling back to you again. And that's the idea of karma. So it's clear to see that what is being referred to as karma is the interaction of your intention coupled with vibration and what you are sending out into the universe and attracting back to you. So what if we are hunting for food and we shoot and kill a rabbit or a deer? Is that negative karma? Again, it comes to intention. What is my intent? My intent is to take this animal's life in order to feed myself and my family. So it's not a negative intention towards the animal. See, this is the important thing to understand. I know a lot of people, all the liberalism and things today, people, oh, we can't do anything. We can't do any harm to any type of animal or whatever. Well, I grew up in a period where hunting and eating real food instead of this fake packaged poison was a natural thing. It's how human beings were meant to live. We weren't meant to eat this created junk, this garbage. So if we were out in the woods, we always showed respect to whatever we killed. We always thanked it. And you would say a prayer at the table or some sort of thanks would be given before you eat it. And this is because there was never any negative intention towards whatever we hunted and ate. It's different when your intention is purely that of destruction and creating harm to others or to animals or whatever. See, it's all about the intention. So if we understand intention, we can get to more of the truth of what it was actually meant by karma. And we can then clearly understand all of the misinterpretations that are being perpetuated out there in the spiritual schools that teach karma. So I like to look at intention as something like this. So we have a thought, and intention is that special quality that allows that thought to manifest into physical action, right? Because there's a lot of people that think a lot of things. They think about all these things they want to do. They even talk about all those things they want to do. So they have the thought and they have the word, but they never have the follow through to actually do it. They lack something that connects thought and word to action, and that would be intention. We can see the role that intention plays in lovemaking. I've done numerous podcasts and articles on spiritual lovemaking as opposed to having sex, and this too can come down to intention. Because if your intention is merely your own self-gratification, your own physical fulfillment, that is not making love. That is merely sex. When you make love, the intention is that you are going to express your love for that other person. And it comes through, your intention comes through in your actions. The electricity in your touch, the way you look into each other's eyes, the way that you embrace one another during the act, everything, it all comes down to that intention. What is the intention behind your actions? Is your intention filled with love, or is your intention filled with selfish desire? Two very different things. So this is yet another area that we can understand intention. In my opinion, there's perhaps no other practices that engage the intention as deeply and as thoroughly as martial arts. There are martial arts that are named for this type of training with the intention. They work with the mind and specifically the intention in very specific ways to help you draw out your intention, to understand that it is something very different than your thoughts, and then how to specifically engage it in a way that you can strengthen it, you can develop it, hone it, so that it serves you really well. As far as martial arts go, the intention plays a role in creating your own sense of self-control, this self-control gauge that I refer to students, where you learn how much power to put in any strike depending on the situation. And you learn to develop this sense of self-control to a very, very high degree. And it's all governed by your intention. What is your intent? We can see the same thing. Do we intend this as an external type of strike or an internal type of strike? Because the intention is different in those methods of striking. In recent years, I've noticed that when training in internal schools such as Bagua or Xingyi or Taiji, that a lot of people are appalled by the martial aspects, and then they get silly due to this new age silly spirituality, and they say, oh, I can't do that particular movement, or I won't engage in something like Taiji push hands because it's got a martial aspect and I'm trying to stay spiritually pure. The physical action doesn't have anything to do with it. What has to do with it is your intention. Can you perform something like push hands without the intention of competition or the intention of a martial application? Of course you can. You can study the movement. You can study the interaction of energies. This has nothing to do with it. It's a very immature mind that looks at things this way because they don't understand intention. When you understand intention, then you quickly realize that you can practice any of these movements and hold your intention on that which you desire to focus towards. But many martial arts allow you the ability to really get into your intention and focus on your intention with every action that you take. And this is one of the incredible values of martial training. So let's look at this according to spirituality. Here's one thing to consider. There's a proverb that says the road to hell is paved with good intentions. This old proverb may have already crossed your mind just due to the topic of this particular episode. So what I'd like to do is take a look at it, because what this means is that many people have good intentions. However, they fail to act upon them. They fail to take action. And this inaction can be for many reasons. It can be from laziness, fear, you name it. There can be all kinds of reasons. But the biggest thing is because they have not learned how to interact with and actually develop their intention. Many of the mind practices that we engage in spiritual systems actually allow us to interact directly with our intention, and thereby we can strengthen it, hone it, and use it so that we have that special something that allows us to move from thinking and talking about it to actually putting it into action. Now, this is the actual spiritual meaning behind that, about the road of hell being paved with good intentions. It's simply that a lot of people have really good intentions, but they don't follow up. They don't put it into action. Intention without action is meaningless. That's the idea of this proverb. So we use intention, we develop and strengthen intention as a way to strengthen our ability to take action in life. Now, another meaning of this from a spiritual perspective is that sometimes, even when we have the best of intentions, when those intentions are acted upon, they can have unforeseen consequences. And certainly this is true. Certainly that can happen from time to time. So the idea when we develop a state of mindfulness, which is a higher state of consciousness, when we develop mindfulness, then our intention serves us better because we have an understanding for the bigger picture going on. And when this happens, then you'll notice that you have taken the bigger picture into account. You have a sense of knowing that's from a broader perspective, and therefore unforeseen consequences happen less and less and less, if at all. And then, of course, organized religion took this proverb of the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and then they made it into a thing about many wrongs, or what they would classify as evil acts, are often masked behind good intentions. But I would argue that then those are false intentions. They are not good intentions. They are evil intentions, and they are merely lying. So this is another thing that's meant from a religious perspective, but this has very little to do with true development of intention, because many wrongs, evil actions, even if the people believe that they are doing something good, if they're that misguided, if their mind is weak or what have you, there's still a part of them that understands that their intentions are not good. And they can hide behind it. They can create a mask, but remember, a mask is not our true face. Therefore, hiding behind a mask, you are hiding your true intentions behind false intentions. So we can see that the real value in a proverb like this is just simply understanding that when we focus our intention, we have the best of intentions, but we fail to act on them, then it's meaningless. Also, if we do something and we have the very best intentions in mind at heart, yet they cause some unforeseen or unexpected consequence. Through this, we get a little bit better understanding of this proverb and what they're talking about with regards to intention. Intention is an incredibly powerful force. It is a product of the mind that is incredibly useful, and it's a productive way to use our mental abilities. It gives us that sense of self-motivated determination that allows us to move forward with that which we desire to accomplish. And in spirituality, it is our goal to live every day, every moment of every day, with only good intentions in our heart. So no matter what we do, our intentions are well-meaning. And this allows us to support a higher vibrational frequency as well. And along with this, we can see then that it takes great inner strength to develop and strengthen and hone our intention. It takes a sense of inner strength because we are creating this bridge from thought in speech, thought and word, to action. And through my own personal experience in spiritual as well as martial systems, after a while, this whole idea of thought, word, and action, right? We can understand that thought and word are then linked or bridged by intention into action. And after you've trained enough in various martial schools as well as spiritual practices, authentic spiritual practices, what happens is your thoughts and your words automatically link to action. In other words, they're not three separate things, they're all one. They all come together into one thing. So there's a lot of people out there that talk about wanting to take this trip, right? Oh, we want to take a trip to Italy. And there's a lot of people that talk about it. But how many people actually follow through? See, they think about it. They have the desire to do it. They talk about it to other people. But then when the end of their life comes, they never quite made it there. They never quite did it, right? They didn't have the follow through in order to actually accomplish the action. In martial arts, there are plenty of examples of this. I know so many people that are constantly telling me that they're a black belt in this or that, and I ask them about the training, and they tell me about it, and it doesn't take much to realize that they're not quite at that level. And so then I ask them about the test, and they say, oh, well, I never really formally tested, but I'm still a black belt. No, you're not. No, you're not. You didn't test. You didn't pass. See, they failed to take action. They wanted to be. They're talking about it as if they are, but they lack the power of intention that would allow them to then invoke the action to actually truly manifest it into reality. Therefore, they are never truly that level in reality, only in the delusion of their own mind. And this is a skill that my wife and I both share, is that whenever we put our mind to something, if we think about something such as, I'd really like to visit Italy, we end up talking to one another about it, we make plans, and then we simply go. There's no sense of disconnection between our thoughts, our words, and our ability to take action. And this is why our intention plays such an important role in the act of manifestation, in co-creating our life experience, in living a fully engaged life. It's the difference between starting something that you really want to accomplish and you enjoy, but floundering with it for years or even decades and decades, or accomplishing it goal after goal after goal and living it. See, it all comes down to the resolve of your intention. And those who engage the authentic practices of mindfulness can understand this very well. You can understand how much clearer you get with your intention. In other words, everything becomes more meaningful. You get a gift for someone, and your intent is to get it because it represents this, and it will allow them to do this. And, it satisfies 3, 4, 5, 6 different things. It's not just, oh, well, I thought it was cool, or I thought you'd like it, and we get it. See, that's mindless. There's not really intention behind there. It's just doing a mindless act. But when we act, even in getting a gift, and our intention is there, and we are mindfully present, then the reason that we get a particular gift for somebody carries several layers of meaning to it. As you raise your consciousness, as you attain a higher state of being, such as a mindful state, your intention has to get stronger and more focused as well. And it is those with a very developed, focused intention that are able to accomplish whatever it is they desire in life. And if we look at this, when we study various ways to hone and strengthen our intent, we may extend our arm and hold our hand up in a way that we look at our fingertip. And the idea is to then extend our mind out towards our finger, not just looking at it. Everybody confuses this. They see their finger and they go, oh, my mind is there because I'm looking at it. No. That's your sense organs activating. That's not your mind. The idea is to actually get your mind from that mental body layer of your aura to start to extend out towards your finger. And then once you can actually reach your finger, you take it out further. And it may go several feet, it may go several yards, it may go, 100 yards or whatever, depending on how incredibly accomplished you become. The idea is to extend the mind. When you extend the mind, this is a way to develop the intention. And then see, when that's extended out from you, it's out in the world. And then people notice your sense of presence. This is one of the ways we strengthen our presence as well. And then because your intention, your mind is able to go out there so much, it is interacting with the field around you. It is interacting with all of the energy around you, and it's already helping you to take action. It's already out in reality where you need to take physical action. Here's a quick and fun exercise that you can perform in order to develop and strengthen your intention, and at the same time test it out to see if you get actual results. This is quantifiable. Okay, here's something my wife and I do for fun. If we're out shopping somewhere, for instance, we go to a clothes store, we will stand on the opposite side of the aisle from a particular clothing item, and then we will put our intention on that clothing item. We'll look at that clothing item, and then we will extend our mind to it, and then we will start to think, I really like that. And you look at the details of it, and you just really put your intention there. And notice how many people walking by will turn and look at that item. Many will stop and pick it up and start to look at it, and they don't even know why. Okay? So the weaker the mind, the more distracted the mind, the more the mind is stuck in the head and dominated by ego, the easier this works on them. So they'll start to pick up these items. There'll be something about it, and they don't even know what it is. But they're picking up on that intention that you're putting out there. So this provides you with a method of simple practice and the ability to realize if you are getting actual results or not. If people just keep walking by and nobody stops, then you're not getting positive results. You're not succeeding with it yet. Could be that you're too far away, whatever it is. Maybe you can't extend your mind far enough yet to really project your intention onto a specific object. But carry that intention that you want it. This is part of the key. When you're looking at these objects, don't just look at it and notice all the details and things about it, but really get the intention that, I want that. I really want to buy that. And that's what people pick up on, and then they'll grab it. There are times where we end up with 2, 3, and sometimes even more people gathering around a particular item. None of them ever buy it, because we drop our intention and then they no longer have an interest in it. It's really quite phenomenal to observe, and it's a lot of fun to practice. And once we develop our intention and we have created that bridge between our thoughts, our words, and our actions, we are far more capable of living a fully engaged life. See, that's the fully engaged part, right? Is that you are actually doing it. There is action being taken. You are accomplishing something. You're experiencing adventures. The fully engaged is referring to the experiential nature of the adventure, of whatever it is you're doing, and the ability to actually experience it. You can't experience it if it just stays as a thought or it's just words, right? You can talk a good story, but it doesn't really happen. So this is what it takes to really get out there and live fully engaged. So pay close attention to your intention, my friends. There are even deeper levels of importance that the role of intention plays in our lives and in our spiritual development. But this is a good place to start. Please make sure to visit me at www.expansionmastery.com, and you can check out the blog articles there, and you can get your Appreciation Mastery program, as well as an autographed copy of Expansion Mastery, the practical guide to living a fully engaged life. Please help us out. We got to work together. Share these podcasts, share my material. The holidays are coming up, so make sure and buy the books, buy the programs, and give them to those you care about. Help them to start to awaken and become part of the consciousness shift. And remember that it takes all of us working together to do it. We have to get true spirituality out there. I know that a lot of my material is being shadow banned and suppressed, And this is happening with things of alternative health, true spirituality, as well as actual real news instead of the fake mainstream stuff. So I need your help to get this out. I can't do it without you. And I appreciate every single one of you that's been telling me that you're sharing it, that you're promoting it, and that you're getting some of the merchandise for those that you love. And most importantly, you're doing it for yourself as well. Because once you have attained this stuff, it's easier to help others to get it. And as always, for all of you that are helping with this, helping this consciousness shift, I love and appreciate you. Until next week, my friends, I wish you the very best in all of your practices and your life. Take care.